Episode 280, Exercise. Rivers never run backwards.
You're listening to the very best podcast in the world on health, wealth, and happiness. Please remember to leave a review and share with all your friends and family. And here is your host, Lars Hilser.
And finally, this week comes to an end. Welcome to Exercise Friday on the very best podcast in the world, your only source in the universe for personal supremacy through health, wealth, and happiness. Now, today's exercise is based on, or in context to, people dwelling in the past, of which I was one and even in parts am today. And that doesn't go to say that, you shouldn't be aware of your past. You should learn from your mistakes, right? But you should forget your past in general and focus on your future, and therefore focusing predominantly on the present moment. And that's what this today's episode is going to be about. And before we get started, though, we're going to go through our daily housekeeping like we do every day. Item number one of which is sharing is caring, meaning that, sharing this content will prevent another wallet rapist victim, meaning that the content you share here is free and will stay free for the foreseeable future. And the same or very similar content is available for tons of money out there. And, once you have wasted all your money, they ask you to max out your credit cards, because this next exercise is going to be the one that is going to change your life. The only way it's going to change your life is that you're going to have to file for bankruptcy while these wankers drive off in their Bentley or their Lambo or Ferrari on their private jet or whatever, giving you the middle finger, going to prowl on their next victim. And that is to be avoided. Therefore, please share this content far and wide, every single piece of it, to raise awareness. Item number two, as always, is views are my own, yada, yada, blah, and don't reflect blah, 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 blah. And item number three is episodes are going to be a bit shorter, a bit more concise, because I'm in renovation and remodeling mode for the foreseeable future. So while the episodes are similarly researched, the content is a bit more condensed down to the point. So that being said, I need you for a moment to imagine a river, and the way it runs. It only moves forward. It only moves into one direction. And that's actually how your life should be, right? That's how the way your life should flow. Yet, a lot of us are constantly looking back into the past, dwelling there, looking for the good old times, going down memory lane permanently, reliving situations, again, in the good past, and everything was better and whatever not. True. I like doing that. And, in fact, I catch myself quite frequently, scrolling through my, 25, 30, 40,000 photos I have in my iCloud photo stream, right? But I can't go back there, right? It's important for me to relive the feelings of joy and happiness that I had then, right? That I was better at remembering things 20 years ago, that I was better at sports, for instance, 20 years ago, right? And all of that good stuff, and the experiences I had to relive the scents and the smells, and I know that, it isn't gonna come back ever. The only possibility I have is to live the present moment at its fullest. And with the decisions I make in the present moment, I will influence my future. However, going back to memory lane can be, for a lot of us, reflecting on lessons learned, because in fact, we forget those very, very, very quickly. A lot of us do. And I'm one of those people, right? So it's about awareness about the past, but it's not living there, right? It's about living the present moment, and therefore, with the decisions you make, influencing your future positively or negatively. So the only thing that this episode about is moving forward. And that's the important takeaway, right? So taking the lessons learned from the past with, imagine the river carrying a piece of debris or multiple pieces of debris, but it's never going to be able to take these pieces of debris and put them back, 100 miles upstream, just to do the same thing over. Right? And that's the important lesson. So how are we going to exercise, or how are we going to turn this whole construct into an exercise for you to perform perhaps over the weekend? Well, if because don't be in denial. We all have our points in time where we like to go back to, right? So take a sheet of paper, right? And reflect on the things of the past that you dwell on most frequently. And we want to get those flushed out of the system, right? We want to keep the lessons learned, right? So it's important to write them down, because that's for 99.9% of us really the only way that we can internalize things. So write down these lessons learned from the past on a sheet of paper, reflect on them, and write out everything that had to do with it. For instance, a relationship that went south, right? Write down every contributing factor, right, that you did. Maybe you interpreted something into the behavior of your spouse that you misinterpreted, etc. It's about reflecting very deeply and very detailed, right? And write all of that down on that sheet of paper. And then, like with a lot of the exercises we have done in the past, you're going to take that sheet of paper and you're ceremonially going to burn it just to get rid of that memory forever. No, again, don't worry about it. You've got everything internalized, right? The most important aspects, the lessons learned, how it felt, right? Everything is going to be ingrained in you just by having written it down, studied it, relived it. But now it's time to get rid of it, right? And that's the most important part, for you to be able to move on, to get this piece of debris out of the water, and to really, really, really get rid of it. Maybe it wasn't a relationship question. Maybe it was a business decision you made, or a career decision, right? Same goes there. How did you feel? What was the weather like, right? As much memory as you can drain out of that situation, it's all going to go on that sheet of paper, just to be able to, relive it in very vivid detail, to take away the lessons learned, to rid yourself of everything else, and then to, again, ceremonially burn it. And that's really the key of this exercise, to make your river, your metaphorical river being your life, flow straight again without, too much debris in it, but with only good quality water. So I hope that you have a good weekend reflecting on all of these things. You're going to be very, very, very surprised at, what's going to come out of it, and how detailed your memories actually are if you take the time to, really dig into them, and to then be able to go into your backyard or wherever and to light that sheet or those sheets of paper on fire, and to rid yourself of that past dwelling once and for all, so that you can, live the present moment with the respect it deserves, to then influence your future positively without the baggage that you've got left on yourself. in that sense, have a nice weekend. And we'll be back in touch on Monday with totally new episodes. Peace out, stay safe, and have a nice weekend. Bye, folks.